All right, so we're going to bring our friend back on. He threatens to overshadow us on our own podcast. He introduced the most popular new segment in podcast history last week, Tackle or Trade. Special correspondent of Rail Talk, Skip Anderson, welcome back.
Hey, Joe. Hey, John. Glad to be back.
Oh, so good to have you at the ready all the time. And the great news is we solicited some questions for Tackle or Trade from the audience last week, and y'all came through. Rail Talk listeners and viewers are the best in the business, and they hit up Skip via DM and gave him some questions. So keep doing that, and we'll keep answering them. Skip, take it away. I think we got to toss the coin first.
Yeah, we're going to toss the coin here, but let's go over the rules of Tackle and Trade before we get started. Okay. We've got two questions we're going to ask. I'm going to flip a coin. The winner of the coin toss gets to go first. That person has the choice to tackle that question or trade it to their partner. If they trade it to their partner has to answer it, and then that person stuck back answering the second question. So put some strategy to the game here. Let's flip a coin. John, you get to call it today.
Okay, I'm going to go with tails.
It is tails. So John, you are the coin toss winner, and we're going to ask you the first question. And that first question comes from our friend Steph, with a lot of names, burner account, submitted a question. And her question is, if you could mate two living horses today, who would you mate and why?
I'm going to trade that.
All right. He trades it to Joe. So Joe, if you could trade two living horses today, who would you mate and why?
So I can't say change to Jamaica and burner account, right? Because that's creepy. Because they're only 2 years old.
That's a little incestuous. Yeah.
Okay. I mean, I got to go with Flightline just because he's all the rage nowadays. And as for the mayor, let's see, who was Rachel Alexandra. I would like Flightline and Rachel Alexandra to have a baby because, I mean, the thing might win the Kentucky Oaks or the Kentucky Derby by 40 lengths, right?
Right. Absolutely.
Yeah. So that's what I'm going with.
Right.
All right. Good
answer. And the nice thing about it is if you go onto Arian.com, you could actually put those that hypothetical mating together and see exactly what it would look like.
Wow. Seamlessly working the sponsor in. You guys are the best in the business. All right.
All right, John, here's your question. This one comes from author Kim Wickens, former guest on the show. Mm-hmm. And she wants to know, John, what is the best food item to eat at Saratoga?
Oh, at Saratoga. I would have to say the best food to eat at Saratoga is definitely the meatballs at the, I can't remember the name of the place. There's a little Italian place. Joe, you'll appreciate I said it's an Italian place. That's right by the Embassy Suites. You just walk across the parking lot and it's right there. And they serve meatballs, but there's like a dozen different kinds. And you can order 3 of them and that's like a whole meal. It's like a pound of meat. Damn it, I can't remember the name of the place, but I know that it's like $12 for three meatballs. So if they were sponsoring us, I'd remember. So if you own that restaurant and you want to, reach out to us and let us know.
Look out the window, see if you're across from the Embassy Suites, and if so, hit us up, and then maybe you can sponsor. For me, I know you didn't ask me, but for me, the only thing that I definitely have to get every time I'm in Saratoga is a Hattie's chicken sandwich. That's the top of the list. I don't know if it's the best thing to eat in Saratoga, but it's definitely the thing that I want to get every single time I'm there.
Joe, where did you work at Saratoga? What food was that?
Carolina barbecue. Okay, I was slinging barbecue, and it doesn't exist anymore, at least not at Saratoga. But yeah, that was my first job at the racetrack, and that's what brought me here. Weirdly, set me on this path.
Barbecue always brings people together.
It's true. I was a barbecue.
So, Joe, what's a secret barbecue recipe, or what's your go-to barbecue food?
The pulled pork is always a winner. And it's, to me, barbecue is mostly, as long as it's like tender, it's mostly about the sauce. Mm-hmm. Like there's a place here in Brooklyn that maybe I'll take John to if he's not too scared, called Bark Barbecue. It's actually a really nice neighborhood. It's down by the water, and it's like the really, really nice tender meat, but the sauces are so banging. You got to have great sides too. Mm-hmm. Like that's what I like about barbecue is it's like a full meal. It's a holistic approach to eating garbage. That's what I like.
Nice. All right.
Skip,
I think we'll throw one more food question.
Was that off script? Are you ad-libbing now?
Of course.
You are a man of many talents.
He didn't get the job. He didn't get the job because he couldn't ad lib. Like, come on.
Yeah,
he's on it.
Yeah, we're learning about each other. That's what this is about, to get in the heads of John and Joe for our listeners.
And finding out how much room is there.
So since we're on the food topic, let's go one more from Kim Wickens. She wants to know, is it bread pudding or chili when at Keeneland?
Oh, it's easily burgoo. It's burgoo. It's not even chili, Kim. It's burgoo. That's the Kentucky chili. You got to have that. That's a must have. Whether it's 110 degrees out in the shade or it's 30 below, with the winter winds at Keeneland, burgoo just warms your tummy.
All right.
Yeah, I haven't eaten enough at Keeneland to fairly answer that question, but so I'll defer to John until I'm hopefully back down there.
You don't look like this without eating a lot of food at Keeneland. Okay, this is Body by Keeneland.
John, you look great, especially after you grew the beard to look like me.
You look like you, exactly.
Yeah, exactly.
I look less like Oliver and more like you. Sorry, Skip. We're interrupting your piece. I'm sorry.
Hey, no problem. And let's wrap it up with one more question that comes from Kim. Grays, bays, or chestnuts? What's your favorite?
In women or horses?
We're gonna wait to do Rail Talk After Dark later, Josh. Remember, this is a different show.
Am I going first? Is it for me to tackle or trade, or is it?
Let's give it. Yeah. Let's let John tackle this one.
Okay. I've always loved grays. Our very first Grade 1 winner was gray. Do it with style. And Jaywalk was the champion. Was also gray. So I have a real affinity for gray horses. If there's ever a time where you have to choose between a gray and something else, 4 times out of 5 I'm gonna pick the gray. Just because to me that always like burgoo, it warms my heart.
And I love grays too. I love a good chestnut. I love a good dark bay, like a really like strapping dark bay like Maxfield. And I like grays as well. And the West Point partners like grays. They're like the easiest ones to sell. And we bought 0 gray horses last year. None. I don't like 50 plus horses. So I'm hoping we bring some into the stable this year because the people love them.
Yep.
All right, Skip. Excellent follow up to your first segment. Well, there was no Kermit impression this time, but
not this time.
All right.
We'll work on
it. You have another week to workshop another Muppet impression, and then it'll be
I can do one. I can do one.
Ever had.
I can do one.
Go ahead, John.
Spurdy birdie 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 birdie.
Sounds got food on the
bird.
Wow.
That was Fozzie Bear.
Stopping that.
That was Fozzie Bear.
Oh, I thought that was a Swedish Chef.
That was a Swedish Chef.
Oh, okay. Got you. That was some misdirection.
Funny.
Wow. Am I the only one here who can't do a bunch of Muppet impressions? I'm feeling very inadequate.
When you have kids, you learn Muppet voices and Elmo voices and Blue's Clues. You learn them all.
Well, that's never happening, so I don't have to worry about that. Maybe that's another question we can get into next time. Skip, thanks for stopping by and peppering us with some more tackle or trade.
Hey, thanks for having me, guys. And Rail Talk Nation, if you want to ask these guys some questions, hit me up with a DM at Baba Acres. We'll get it in tackle or trade.
Let's
See you
go.
later.